this sacred hour, as we continue this sacred hour together, we remain in the spirit of stillness and openness. I want to do this together with you, so I'll do it from the bench. We want to watch and listen as the birds do. Just as we were invited earlier by Ed to breathe deeply and to let go, we are now invited to go deeper into communion with the Creator through scripture, image, music, and silence. At the heart of our faith is the mystery of the Incarnation, that God entered creation not as a distant observer, but as one of us, walking among trees, feeling the rain, hearing the bird song, walking through fields. Today, we reflect on how the same divine presence still speaks through us through the natural world, calling us to notice, to wonder, and to trust. You are invited to engage in 3 moments of reflection. Each one will begin with scripture reading read by Becky, then accompanied by images of birds and creation. These are not meant to rush but to guide you gently into a space of quiet contemplation. After each reflection, you will be offered a simple question to ponder. Let it rest in your heart. Then, if you feel moved, write a word, a phrase, draw a picture on the sticky note provided. These reflections are more than personal thoughts. They are offerings, a form of shared worship. At the end of the service, you will be invited to place your note on a communal wall as part of our collective prayer and witness. You'll choose all these 3 here, boards up front. As you read the reflections of others afterwards, consider them an extension of worship, a second voice in the sacred conversation between Creator and community. So let us begin with our hearts open and our attentive spirits. May God speak to us through feather and sky, scripture and stillness. Reflection number 1, finding refuge under God's wings.
God will cover you with God's feathers, and under God's wings you will find refuge. Psalm 91, verse 4.
In the natural world, birds instinctively seek shelter from storms, often finding refuge under the wings of their parents or within the safety of their nests. This imagery is beautifully mirrored in the Psalms, where the Psalms declares, as Becky just read, He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. Consider the times in your life when you faced personal storms, challenges that seemed insurmountable, or fears that loomed large. In those moments, where did you seek refuge? The metaphor of God as a protective bird invites us to find shelter, not in our own strength or understanding, but in the encompassing presence of the divine. So our reflection, when you see the next 4 photos, reflect on a time when you felt vulnerable or afraid. How did you experience God's protective presence during that season? So take some time now to reflect on a time when you felt vulnerable or afraid. How did you experience God's protective presence during that season? We'll move to reflection number 2, soaring on wings like eagles. And I'll ask Becky to read this again.
They will soar on wings like eagles. Isaiah 40:31.
Isaiah offers a promise to those who place their hope in the Lord. They will soar on wings like eagles. If you've ever watched eagles, it's amazing what they can do. They are known for their ability to glide effortlessly at the high altitudes. They often use the wind currents to lift them outside of the storms. This passage encourages us to trust that, with God's strength, we too can rise above life challenges. It's not about escaping difficulties, but about gaining an elevated perspective and the endurance to navigate them, just like the eagles. So in the reflection, I ask you that we all think, when do we need God's strength to help us rise above current challenges? And how can we position ourselves to receive that renewal? Think about this as we look at the next 4 images. Take some time now to reflect. When do we need God's strength to help us rise above current challenges? How can we position ourselves to receive that renewal? Moving on to reflection number 3. This is the final one. This is God's eye on the little birds like the sparrow. And I'll ask Becky to read the last scripture.
Aren't 5 sparrows sold for 2 small coins? Yet not one of them is overlooked by God. Even the hairs on your head are all counted. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. And that is Luke 12:6-7.
Thanks, Becky. In Luke, Jesus reminds us in Luke of our immense value in God's eyes, noting that not even a sparrow is forgotten by God. If God so cares deeply for the sparrow, how much more does he care for each of us? This assurance invites us to trust in God's intimate knowledge of our lives and God's unwavering care. For the reflection prompt for the last 4 photos, what does it mean to us that God sees even the smallest, most vulnerable creature, and us as well. Our final reflection prompt: what does it mean to us that God sees even the smallest, most vulnerable creature in us as well? Take a bit of time to reflect on that and maybe jot down a word or two.